So I wanted to show what do you do when you have a rather large leak and you want to find out where it is. I got R410A in this coil. It's a leaking evaporator coil. It leaks right about there. And this was R22 and I put in R410A. It's got 150 pounds of R410A. Sensitivity's on high. You know, I got a very sensitive leak detector here, so it picks up the leak, you know, quite easily in the corner there. But I made a bigger leak here. I would estimate this is about 4 pounds a year on this coil. This leak right here, I'll grab this. There's a much larger leak that I made. You can see it right there. So it's bubbles. I'd estimate about 1 cc every 30 seconds based on the amount of bubbles. Actually, I'd say 3 cc a minute. And to find out how big that leak is, you go to your table here. So 6 pounds a year is going to be 1 cc every 60 seconds. So for 3 cc every 60 seconds, we're about 18 pound a year leak, you know, right there. So it's a rather large leak. So now we got a leak that's about 20 pounds a year. I'm just putting it in the evaporator right here. So obviously, you know, high sensitivity leak detector just kind of, you know, going off everywhere. I mean, you definitely tell a customer they need a new evaporator, but let's suppose this is a new evaporator and you don't want to pull it for warranty. You want to find out where it's leaking. You know, maybe it's leaking on a YouTube or something, and just, you know, quick hit it with some solder. So how do you find this leak? I mean, you can go to the large on these leak detectors. I haven't messed around with the large that much. It seems to be pretty good, but I hate using high sensitivity leak detectors on large leaks because you tend to degrade the sensor, even though Fieldpiece says, you know, it's pretty good about not degrading, you know, but we're on large, you know, it's not getting hits everywhere, and then gets to hit, you know, closer. You get the bubbles off there. The bubbles actually hold the Freon, or the R410A. So, I mean, you get a little closer, you know, with the large. And so this is a 20 pound a year leak. And I'm not picking up, on large, I'm not picking up my 4 poundage leak here anymore on the coil. You know, I'm getting this big one though, pretty close. You gotta get right on it. But I wanted to show something I used to use a lot in Marine, which was really nice for finding the large leaks. You know, if you're dealing with like 10 pounds a year or larger, ultrasonic, and it takes you right to the leak. I mean, I know the coil's already leaking, and you know, I get confirmation, you know, with my high sensitivity. I don't want to really ruin my sensor and have to buy another sensor, you know, especially if I'm like in a mechanical room, you know, something that's leaking a lot. And so I just use, you have to listen to what it sounds like here. Move the camera up. Now the key to using the ultrasonics is you want to get it wet. You can spray water on it. You can spray basically anything to make bubbles, because this one just basically converts the frequency. You know, so it's from high frequency, it converts it where you can hear it. I'm gonna put this right here so you can hear it on the camera. They're real nice for these large leaks. You know, it's directional. There's no background, you know, to it. This one's obsoleted. This is the one I used for years and years, and but it takes you right to it. You spray the coil with some water. If you don't hear it without the water, you know, check it without the water first. They have to be really large. It's probably got to be about 30 pounds to 40 pounds a year to not have water on it. But when you spray some water or use some Snoop, anything that's going to make bubbles, the bubbles actually make a lot of noise when they pop. So the ultrasonic is picking up the noise when it pops. That'll take you right to the leak, you know, immediately. I bought another ultrasonic here, Inficon. I wasn't too impressed with this one, and didn't seem to be as sensitive. I have it on the maximum sensitivity. There's a Amprobe. Amprobe has a newer one. I'm gonna check that one out, and I'll add it to the video. But basically, any of the ultrasonics. You can also use the old, like you use working on cars. Take a piece of vacuum hose, 1/4-inch vacuum hose, put it in your ear, and you can use that like a stethoscope, you know, when the leak's really big. And but I recommend, you know, get one of these old amp probes. This is the ULD 100, and their newer one might be just as good. And it works great finding those large leaks.